In Tiki Treasure Island, players are rival treasure hunters, searching the island for the buried pirate treasure. Explore the island by revealing cards, find the location of the treasure, locate hidden tiki masks, and survive longer than your opponent to claim the treasure. The player with the highest score after 3 rounds is the winner. Setup. Take the treasure card, place it with the other 24 map cards and shuffle them together. Then, deal them out in a 5x5 grid in the center of the table between the players. Shuffle the 10 lagoon cards and place one face down beside each end of the center 3 rows of the grid. Return any unused lagoon cards to the box. Give each player a scorecard and a pawn and cube and a disc in their color to record their fatigue and score. Place the set of 4 tiki tokens face down beside the board. Mix them up. At the beginning of each round, players will secretly select one of the face down tiki tokens. Look at it. This indicates the specific tiki totem they are hoping to locate on their expedition. Place the others face down to the side for now. On their turn, players will start or continue expeditions by revealing face-down cards and adding to their path. The following rules apply to choosing and placing cards. On their turn, a player will select 2 cards from the grid at the same time, look at them both secretly, and replace them to the grid, one face down and one face up, revealing a path. When beginning an expedition, players must place at least 1 card on their starting row, the row immediately in front of them. There must be a path connecting to the player's edge of the card grid. Players may orientate the card played face up to any position as long as the path connects to the path on the connecting card. The first card of an expedition must connect its path to the player's edge of the card grid. The player then moves his pawn onto the card. In future turns, players must select at least 1 card that is in front of one of their paths already in progress to continue their path. The second card may come from anywhere in the grid. Players will always move their pawn along the path onto the next card played. Players must continue to add to one of their paths until closed by a dead end, or they become blocked by the other player. They may abandon their current path by moving their pawn back to another open exit point on their path, or by starting a new expedition from their starting row. If at some point both players' paths join, they must both remove their pawns to in front of their starting row. The next active player may continue an expedition on the same path if there is an unexplored exit point that they may continue from. Two players may not sit on the same card. Each card, with the exception of the treasure site, will have a number, fatigue points, in the upper right corner. When a player adds a map card to the path, they record the fatigue points on their scorecard with a cube, adding to any previous total. For example, if a player has placed map cards in previous turns with fatigue points of 1, 1, 3, and adds a 1 this turn, their total would be 6. If a player's total fatigue points ever equals or exceeds 12 points, they are exhausted and their expedition has failed. If in their turn a player discovers the treasure site, they must return it to the grid face down. No player may reveal the location of the treasure site until one player is exhausted. If for any reason a player cannot continue by beginning a new expedition, they have already exposed all cards in their starting row, their expedition fails and they are immediately exhausted. Once one player is exhausted, The other player has a chance to reveal the treasure site by selecting and revealing a face-down card. If they are correct, they gain 3 victory points. If they are incorrect, the exhausted player may attempt to reveal the treasure site, but they only get 1 victory point if successful. Mark any scores on your scorecard with your colored disc. Lagoon cards give certain rewards or advantages to a player during a game. If, during the course of play, a player connects their path to one of the lagoon cards on either side, they may take that lagoon card. If the card for that location has already been claimed, that player does not get a card. The Tiki token chosen by the player at the beginning of the round indicates the specific totem they're hoping to locate on their expedition. Each map card has an icon of a Tiki totem in the corner. During the round, once 3 Tiki symbols are revealed by either player that match a player's chosen Tiki, that player immediately reveals their Tiki token and scores 1 VP. For each additional Tiki of that type that is revealed, that player then scores another 1 VP. At this point, when one player is exhausted and players have guessed at the location of the treasure site, the round is over. Collect all map cards and the treasure site and shuffle them. Any remaining lagoon cards remain in place. Deal all map cards out in the 5x5 grid so that it lines up with the positions of the remaining lagoon cards. Another round begins, with the loser of the last round playing first. Reset the fatigue marker, but leave the victory point markers where they are. A total of 3 rounds are played. At the end of the 3rd round, the player with the highest score has won the game.